Today we'll start our third chapter of chemistry. Which is atoms and alright. So before we start the chapter, I would like to tell you a little about atoms and the molecules. I think in the last chapter we have already discussed this thing. We have, yes? Have we or have we haven't? I think I had told you about what is atom.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So once again I'll discuss it but very quickly. So this is chapter about atoms and molecules. So what are the atoms? Atoms are the smallest divisible particle which takes part in a chemical reaction, or a charged particle which takes part in a chemical reaction. And the structure of atom is somewhat like this. We have a sphere of atom. Okay, and inside it is a nucleus. So generally the atom does not have this outermost shell. It does not have anything like this. There is no cover outside the atom. So we assume that it's a sphere. So that the last thing, the last boundary of the atom would be its last shell. But we draw like this. So the main thing what atom has, which is dense, is its nucleus. Okay. The center part is called as nucleus. Okay. And outside the nucleus there resides the energy shells or energy orbits, which are called as energy shells. Okay. So they have maximum 4 energy shells. Okay. And minimum it would be 1. So inside this nucleus what resides? Protons and neutrons. So atom is a divisible particle which is made of proton, okay, neutron and electron. Alright. So proton is a positively charged particle, neutron is neutral, and electron, this is negatively charged particle. In proton, we have mass of 1 U. That means one proton will have mass of 1 U. Neutron will also have mass of 1 U, and this electron will have no mass. Okay. Okay. So the atomic number of any atom is just the number of proton. Okay. That means if an atom, this is the structure of atom, this is proton and neutron, and here outside lies the electron. Electrons. Okay, and these are the energy shells. K shell, L shell, M and N shell. Okay, so now this is a idea of a structure of an atom. So when we talk about the atomic mass of an atom, atomic mass. So what is the mass of an atom? So atomic mass of an atom, mass of atom. Atomic, so we don't have to write atom again with this. So it is the sum of mass of proton and neutron. Okay. So as I was talking about, that atom is a divisible particle which has 3 divisions called as proton, neutron, electron. P stands for proton, N stands for neutron, and small e stands for electron. Okay. And atomic number of any atom. So atom is the smallest particle of an element. Like if we will break an element into the smallest particle, the tiniest particle, so what we'll get? We will get an atom. Okay. And elements are pure substances. So any particle of an element, we will get the same atom. Alright, किसी भी एटम को हम ले लेंगे किसी एलिमेंट से तो हमको वही पर्टिकुलर एटम मिलेगा. ठीक है. नाउ एटम के अंदर प्रोटॉन, न्यूट्रॉन एंड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर देयर. ओके, सो द नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन in an atom is its atomic number. So in your book I have told you to learn that table in chapter number 3, which have a sequence and order of the names of some elements. Okay, so I hope you all have learned that. So they are in a sequence from 1 to 20. 1 to 19 are there, and I have told you to write 2 more, 19 and 20, which is potassium and calcium. Okay, so those elements are in sequence from 1 to 20. So the first element is hydrogen there. So its atomic number is 1, and then it's helium, and then yes, okay, then lithium. So hydrogen has only 1 proton. That's why its atomic number is 1. Helium has 2 protons. So that's why its atomic number is 2. Then lithium has 3 protons, atomic number 3, and so on. So number of protons, any atom which have the specific number of proton is its atomic number. Okay, an atomic number will not change of any atom, even when an atom forms an ion. Okay, atoms forms an ion when they donate or when they accept the electron. I have taken this topic in the previous class, if you remember with you guys. Yes? Have I? No? Okay. I have not taught about you about the ion formation, nothing. Okay, maybe with the other batch I have told you. Okay, so I will discuss that too. So, because here you can see there are so many shells. Okay, 4 shells are here, and the nucleus is inside. So, protons will not move from anywhere. Number of protons in an atom will always remain same and they will not change. So the number of proton is the atomic number of an atom, which is always universally fixed. Now these electrons will always move around these energy ships or orbit, and they are highly unstable. Why they are unstable? Because we have read about metals and non-metals in the previous chapter. Okay, metals we have also read that they usually donate the electrons, yes, and non-metals usually accept the electrons. Why do they do that? Because take an example of sodium. Okay, so the atomic number of sodium is 11. Okay, so now according to this, there are energy shells. So the maximum number of the accommodation of the electron in the first shell is K shell. Okay, every atom has these shells, but the number of shells will depend upon the number of proton and electron. In an atom, there is always number of proton will always be equal to the number of electrons. This is also fixed. So few things of atom are fixed, which is an atom is the smallest divisible particle which take part in a chemical reaction. Okay. Now an atom has equal number of proton and electron. Okay. Number 1, and number 2, that an atom is electrically neutral. Okay, an atom is electrically neutral. Okay, these 3 things you have to keep in mind. Now, 3 or 2 things. An atom has equal number of proton and electron. An atom is electrically neutral. Now, why do I say this atom is electrically neutral? Because example is sodium. Okay, atomic number is 11. So, number of proton in this sodium will be 11. Alright, and proton are positively charged particles. So, 11 protons means it will have, when one proton have plus 1 charge, so 11 proton will also have plus 11 charge. Alright? Okay. One electron has 1 plus charge. 1 proton, sorry. And in an atom we have equal number of proton and electron. So number of electron will be again 11. And electrons are negatively charged particles. Okay. So one electron have minus 1 charge. So 11 electrons will also have minus 11 charge. Since this atom of sodium have equal number of proton and equal number of electrons which have the opposite charge, so that means all the charge will be cut. So that's why the atom is always electrically neutral. Despite of having positive and negative charges both in it, it is electrically neutral because it will have the same number of positive and negative charge which will be cancelled out. Okay, so an atom is electrically neutral. So how do it react? Why would it react? Okay, it reacts because in the structure of atom there are energy shells, and each and every shell has a specific accommodation. That means the first shell, which is K shell. In this shell, the maximum number of electrons here can be filled is 2. Okay, so the maximum number is 2, and if any atom do not have 2 electrons, if it just have 1 electron, so the maximum was 2 and minimum was anything. But it wants to have the maximum number of electrons to become stable. So the nearest noble gas to hydrogen is helium. Okay, helium, which has atomic number 2. And the maximum number is 2. So 2 electron and 2 proton. So helium will have 2 electrons on the outermost shell. Helium will not have these extra 3 shells. Structure of helium would be like this. Nucleus, proton है 2, न्यूट्रॉन भी 2 ही है हीलियम के पास. So जो मास है वो 4 है. First shell is there, which is K shell, and it has 2 electrons. So the maximum number of electrons was 2, and helium has 2 electrons. So that's why helium is stable. Noble gas होती है helium. Okay. So noble gases are noble; they don't react with any other substances. So its octet structure is, duplet structure is complete. So like this, every element wants to attain their nearest noble gas configuration. This is called as electronic configuration, which we will read, in detail in our this chapter, but afterwards, after some time. Okay. So because I am teaching about items, so I am discussing all these things here. Okay. So now this sodium, the configuration of sodium will be 2, 8, and 1. Now this L shell, the maximum number of electrons which can be filled in the L shell is 8. Okay, 8. And here in this M shell, the maximum number of electrons will be filled is 18, and here will be 32. Okay, there is a formula I will tell you in detail when we will get into the topic of this electronic configuration. But just for the idea, so here it has 8 electrons in the, this is K, L and M. 8, but in the M shell it's only 1. So although it wants 18, but if it had 8 also, it will be stable. So it would like to have 7 electrons. But 7 electrons, no other element will have 7 extra electrons to donate. So no element will donate 7 electrons to the sodium. So sodium will give 1 electron to some other element which wants 1 electron. Understood? Imagine you have a task that your teacher or your mother says, okay, I want you to collect 20 mangoes from somewhere. Okay, buy 20 mangoes. So you have got only 1 mango from somewhere. Okay, and she has also told your brother to get 20 mangoes from somewhere. and he has arranged 19 mangoes. So then if you ask from him that give me 19 mangoes, do you think he will give you? No. And if he will ask, okay, I am having 19, so just give me one mango and I will be having all 20 mangoes. So you will be giving one mango, okay, le lo, है ना? Yes, okay, but I don't have any use of this one mango, and then you will complete your, whatever task. Okay. So the same happens when this sodium is not able to get 7 electrons, so it will donate its 1 electron to some other element. Okay. So यहाँ पर this sodium was having 11 electron or protons, positive charge, and it was having here minus 11. So when it will donate 1 electron, it will have 10 electrons. Okay. Sodium, understood? The sodium will subtract electron and it will become sodium ion. So why this plus charge came here? Because here if you will count plus 11 minus 10, that means the charge in the sodium is plus 1, because 10 will be cancelled out and 1 will be remaining. That's why it will become a positively charged ion. So when an atom donates or gains an electron, it becomes a charged particle which is called as ion. Atom was an electrically neutral particle now, है ना? But now after donating the electron, it acquired a charge, and it could be a positive charge, it could be a negative charge. Because metals always donate the electron, so they always acquire a positive charge on them. Okay. Because metals की configuration में हमेशा उनके पास 1, 2 या 3 extra electrons होते हैं. Alright. So they will always donate the electron and then they will acquire a positive charge on them. If we talk about a non-metal, okay. So example we take example of fluorine. Atomic number is 17. Okay. So the configuration will be 2, 8 and 7. Okay. So fluorine also wants to attain configuration of the nearest noble gas, which is neon. And neon has configuration of 2, 8 and argon. 2, 8 and argon, not neon, argon. Yes, 8 and 8. Okay. So it also wants 1 electron to be argon. Neon has 2 and 8 only. Okay, 2, 8 and 8. So that's why it wants 1 electron. Now, if you look at fluorine, it was having plus 17 charge and with the proton, and electrons was minus 17. Okay, so when fluorine will gain 1 electron from somewhere, it will become fluorine negative ion. Why? Because 1 electron was added and it becomes 18 electron minus charge. So we can see that plus 17 and minus 18, so we now got minus 1. That's why it becomes a negatively charged ion. So ions are the charged particles, and ions are 2 types, which is cation and anion. Understood everyone? Okay. So again I will take all this topic, but because we are starting the chapter from atoms and molecules, so you should have an idea about an atom. Okay. So atom is the smallest particle which takes part in a chemical reaction. Okay. And the smallest part of an element would be an atom. Talking about a molecule. Now what is a molecule? When two or more atoms combine together, they form a molecule. Okay. Example. This is hydrogen and this is oxygen. Okay. So they are combining together and they are forming a water molecule. Okay. Here. So this was the tiniest part of an element. This was also the tiniest part. Although it's H2 and O2, it's again a molecule. I will again teach you this. But here, this is the tiniest part of a compound. So this is the tiniest part of element. And this is a tiniest part of a compound. So the tiniest part will be molecule. That is, if we will break a compound into the smallest particle which we could, so we will get molecule at the end. And if we will break an element into the tiniest part, we will get an atom at the end. So atom plus atom become molecule. Because two elements combined, they will form a compound. Okay. So this is the difference between an atom and a molecule. So molecule have a definite formula, definite structure. That's why we call it a pure substance. Okay. Now, there are sometimes we always write H2, O2, then fluorine, Cl2, then N2. So because non-metals generally they exist in the gaseous state, they also exist in a solid state. But these are the gases: oxygen, neon, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. That is the compound CO2. But all these gases, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, Cl2, we write in the 2 form. So what happens? Hydrogen combines with other hydrogen atom to form a diatomic gas. Diatom. Okay. So we can also call it as a hydrogen molecule because there are 2 atoms. Okay. But here both the atoms are of same element. So we can also call it a diatom. Okay. So this is also oxygen diatom, hydrogen diatom. Okay. But we can also call them hydrogen molecules because there are 2 atoms. So when 2 atoms combine, we can call it a molecule. But if the 2 atoms are of same type, same element, we can also call them a diatom. Okay, understood? Now we begin the chapter. Okay, this was just a overview for atoms and molecules. What are them? And then now we will start the chapter. Now this chapter tells us about how these atoms and molecules, forms the chemical reactions. When atoms combine with another atom, it forms a molecule. Okay. So during the formation of a molecule or during the all these process, there is a chemical reactions which undergo. Okay. So because these compounds, these elements are what we say call them chemicals. Our body are made up of chemicals. Okay. From all these elements, we all are hydrocarbons. Okay. The food which we eat is again glucose. It forms glucose. It changes to something else. We breathe in, we inhale oxygen, and then we exhale out CO2. So that means the chemical process is undergoing in front of our body. Okay. So because everything is around us is all chemical reactions. So that means when atoms combine with other atoms, they form a molecule. Again, it's a chemical reaction. So to study the chemical reaction, there are some laws which are called as laws of chemical combination. When some chemical combines, we cannot combine them as we want. We cannot write anything. Okay, we have to make sure that these laws which were made by Lavoisier and Proust, you have to remember the name of the scientists also who gave the law of chemical combinations, Lavoisier and Proust. Okay, so there are 2 laws of chemical combination. Number 1 is law of conservation of mass, and the other is law of constant proportion. Okay. So first we take the law of conservation of mass. Okay. So law of conservation of mass means this law states that in any chemical reaction, okay, the matter is not created and it cannot be destroyed. that in any chemical combination or in any chemical reaction, we cannot add up the atoms, or we cannot also not delete the atoms from any chemical reaction. We have to maintain their their mass in a specific manner. That means this law that the sum of the mass of reactant will always be equal to the mass of product. Okay. That means in any chemical reaction, whatever reactants we are using, the mass of those reactants. Now, what is this mass? So I just told you, atomic mass is the mass of the proton and neutron. We have discussed that proton have 1 u mass and neutron also have 1 u mass. Okay, electron do not have any mass, so the nucleus of the atom is very dense because all the mass is there in the nucleus, because electron do not have any mass. So all the weight of an atom is where? In the nucleus. Okay. So the mass of an atom is in its nucleus. And example, if we are having sodium, so the atomic mass will be, sodium has 11 protons. So 1 u means 1 proton has 1 u mass. 11 proton will have 11 u mass. And sodium has 12 neutrons, so 12 u mass. So that is why the mass of sodium is 23 u, and u is the unit of the mass, which is called as unified mass. Okay. So from here we have to find out the atomic mass of the particular element, and then we continue in the next class.